20 male. Overheard some worrying stuff last night involving my sister, 18 female, and her boyfriend, 18 male. I'm the kind of dude who never sleeps. Yesterday, at almost midnight, I heard my sister running to the bathroom crying and locking the door. A few minutes later, I hear her boyfriend coming to the bathroom door. Because of the bathroom's door, I could only hear his side of the conversation. He first told her that he loved her. He then told her to get out of the bathroom, that he wanted to know what she was doing in the bathroom. He jokingly threatened to break down the door if she did not exit the bathroom. He asked her if he did something that she did not like. Again, I could not hear her side of the conversation. He returned to her bedroom, and she joined him a few minutes afterwards. Having just his side of the conversation and not wanting to escalate this immediately against my sister's will, I decided not to intervene at the moment. Now, it is the next day, and I feel that I cannot ignore what I heard. What actions could I take? Talking to her? Making sure she is okay? Reporting what I heard to my parents? Talk to your sister privately, calm, caring, no pressure. Say you heard her upset last night and wanted to check in. Make it clear you're there for her, no judgment, just support. Don't involve your parents unless you're seriously concerned for her safety or she asks you to. If something's wrong, she may open up when she knows you're safe to talk to. Just do a brotherly check-in. Ask her if she wants to go for coffee or a burger or something. Somewhere where you can be alone but in public so it doesn't cause any scenes, and just check in with her. Ask natural questions, it might work its way out before you know it. If it doesn't, just mention it casually that you overheard something late one night that was concerning and you just want to make sure everything is alright and that you're there for her, and if she ever needs anything, you'll be there. Without knowing your relationship with her or how good their relationship is, I personally would just go to her privately and tell her you heard some commotion last night and only heard part of the conversation, and that if she needs to talk or if you need to be a protective big brother, that you will be available. You can and should definitely talk to her privately, but there could have been a million things that happened. However, it does sound like he maybe did something to make her cry, so it's totally reasonable to wonder if he might be a D-bag. So yeah, I think definitely ask her. I mean, why wouldn't you? Someone you care about has a partner that makes them cry. You usually want to know why. I'd suggest to tell her you heard a kerfuffle, or whatever lol, and wanted to make sure she was okay. Then let her know you're there to listen, talk without judgment anytime she needs you. Definitely emphasize that point. Maybe nothing now, but going forward you never know. If she was upset enough to separate from him by going to the bathroom and locking the door, you should for sure check in. Don't like one bit of what you overheard. I am pregnant right now though, so I might be a little overly reactive. If you two were mine, I would honestly want you to tell me too, as her mom, so I can keep a woman's eye on the guy. But that would be after your talk with her and depending on how it went. My 23F wife cheated on me, 25M, and I'm not sure what to do. What would you do? Staying anonymous, as my partner is active on Reddit. My wife, 23F, and I, 25M, got married last year, almost exactly a year ago. 10 months ago she came to me and let me know that before we got married she had cheated on me with 5+ people, at least 2 of those being physically. Additionally, she carried on an emotional affair with her ex up until we got married. She's begged me to stay, and told me she'd fix it, so I stayed. However, the effort is on and off. She's not from this country, and one of the guys she cheated with is from my city, which stings more. The final part that'll blow your mind is one day she said she felt guilty, and needed to tell me she only started dating me for the GC. Why wouldn't you keep that to yourself? I recently went on a business trip and hung out with some friends, and it felt like the fog was lifted, so to speak. I've realized that I don't trust her every minute. I was wondering what she was doing, why she wasn't responding, who she was with, and it all felt very toxic and anxiety-driven. For context, I'm typically nonchalant and do not care what's going on, go have your fun. My problem is I love her, but I don't trust her. Her family loves me and will be crushed. She's from another country, so we'll have to voluntarily deport. Putting someone through that would make me feel horrible. Lastly, I don't know who I am outside of this relationship anymore. I'm not afraid of being alone, but I'm afraid of the loneliness that follows what I assume will be the advice given here. If you were in my shoes, how would you handle? On the surface level, without knowing me, what would you do? I thank everyone in advance and hope you have a wonderful day, week, and year. Edit. To address what everyone was saying. She told me after we got married. Feels like she tried to trap me, and my mind plays tricks on me. There are days that I see the woman I fell in love with and other days that I can only see this monster she revealed. Update. I want to say, suffering doesn't make me weak. Being away from her made me open my eyes to the fact that maybe I was trauma bonded to her or something crazy, which is why I didn't leave immediately. I was too attached. I'll be having the conversation this weekend when I don't have to wake up early for work the next day. Need a day off after the talk to organize. I will update everyone with results. To those who responded kindly, thank you. To those who felt the need to insult me, I hope you have the day you deserve, my friends. At your young age and with such a short marriage, you need to end your relationship and divorce. Jesus, 5 guys. My dude, don't waste your time. You are young. I am sure you will find a girl who have respect and loyalty. Her deportation is not your problem anymore, it's her choice to risk her well-being. I've realized that I don't trust her, but I don't trust her. Why stay with someone you cannot trust? Move on, it sucks but there it is. Sorry. You love who you imagined she was. She is not that person. She is the person you see now. Respect yourself. Show her the door. I assume GC is green card and not GameCube. She told you who she is multiple times and yet you chose to stay. She told you she is a cheater. She told you she is using you for a GC. Now is your chance to find your self-respect. You are young. A little bit of alone time would do you good to see where you went wrong and why you tolerated all of this from her. Then when you think you are at a point that you can respect yourself more, go looking for a partner that will treat you better. And since you're married, get that divorce going quickly. Yeah, move on, you're only 25. How'd I, 24M, bring up my girlfriend, 24F, refusing to pay her share after seeing my salary? Me, 24M, and my girlfriend, 24F, have been dating for 6 months. We both just graduated uni and are both doing unpaid internships. We don't have a ton of money, but we're not broke. We can still some beach trips, nice dinners, going out, etc. She gets money from her parents and by selling, honestly delicious, cinnamon rolls on Instagram. I freelance from home and just landed a decent paid job. When I got the new job, I told her I could refer her since she meets all the qualifications, we studied the same. Every time I mentioned it she'd reply dismissively with, yeah, that'd be cool, which in our native language is basically a shrug to shut the topic down, so I eventually dropped it. A few weeks ago she stayed over and I hooked my laptop up to the TV to watch Netflix, but I didn't realize I had my payments page open, so that's what the screen showed first. I quickly switched to Netflix and didn't think much of it. Since then, though, she's complained that, I don't even make 1/5 of what you make, and she's increasingly refusing to pay for anything. Since we started dating, we've kind of had an unspoken arrangement of taking turns while paying. She covers the morning coffee, I cover dinner, or she buys movie tickets and I buy snacks. And I've always tried to cover the pricier stuff because I know I make more. Now every time it's her turn, she just stares at me like she just expects me to pay, which I do. Once she even asked, do you want money? When I was already grabbing the bill. Which I honestly felt kind of disrespectful. I don't want to force her into a job she might hate or quit in a few weeks, and I certainly don't want to make her feel bad. I support her business and I've even offered to cover the price of paid ads or whatever can help her business grow because I actually believe she has a ton of talent, but again, every time I brought this up she answers, it'd be cool, and never follows up. But I also don't want to feel exploited or like I'm single-handedly supporting our outings, which is honestly not about the money but about the symbolic nature of it. How do I bring this up without making her defensive, and how can we find a fair way to handle our finances again? Any advice is appreciated. Info. Commenters have told me this is relevant context, so here it goes. About 4 months ago I had a rough patch where I wasn't getting any work as a freelancer. I told her this and I offered to have less expensive dates, eating at home, parks, museums, etc. She told she liked those ideas but also she didn't mind paying, so we never stopped going out as we wanted and she covered most of our expenses during that time, around 1.5 months. I thanked her profusely and I treated her to really nice dates after I got the job, making sure she didn't spend anything and telling her that was my way of thanking her for supporting me earlier. Also, I'm pretty sure she's earning the same she's always earned throughout our relationship since we always talk about the orders she has and sometimes I help make the rolls or go with her to buy the ingredients. Which I love. This isn't transactionally. I actually really love baking with her and see it as little fun dates. Also, I want to say I don't intend to make her look bad or as a gold digger as some have suggested. She's a wonderful girlfriend, smart, beautiful, compassionate, fun, loving, and we have a great relationship. This is just an issue that I've noticed the past few weeks. Too long did not read. Girlfriend saw how much I make and she doesn't want to pay for anything anymore. How do I bring this up? I'd be honest and straightforward. Explain that you've noticed since she's seen your salary that she isn't splitting things like before. Explain you don't want to feel like you have to cover every expense. If she gets upset or defensive, that's on her. And it's honestly a red flag right now that speaks to how she'll be in the future with money. It's only been 6 months and after seeing how much you make, she expects you to pay for everything. Nope. This is where good communication comes in. You guys need to talk and listen to each other. 50-50 only benefits the one making more, so she may be upset and feel taken advantage of by you. Where you are starting to feel that way. You two need to communicate better on financial expectations for a relationship. I mean, you should be covering more if you make more. It would take a massive burden off of your girlfriend, which is something that I would want to do if I loved somebody. That being said, she's going about it in the wrong way and is acting entitled. You guys just need to have a conversation. So she wants the money you have instead of taking the job you offered to get her own money? Do you want to be a wallet to her forever? You need to tell her how you feel about this, but if all she sees you as is someone who earns 5 times as much as her, she'll keep taking from you for as long as you let her. My husband 26M wants a divorce to chase after his ex 26F, who doesn't even want him. My husband 26M is in the military and recently took a solo trip back to his home country. I 28F bought him the ticket after he told me he was feeling down about his past and missing his best friend. I thought it would make him happier and improve our marriage. He looked me in the eyes and told me he was not going there to see any women from his past. While there, he reached out to his ex-girlfriend he's never truly let go of. He's mentioned her to me before. He messaged me beforehand that he was going to see her for closure, and then after that meeting, that seeing her once wasn't enough and he made plans to see her again. After seeing her twice, he texted me that he doesn't love me, he loves me just because I'm the mother of his child, does not want to be with me, and plans to move there permanently after his contract ends to persuade her to take him back. Even though she rejected him because he has a wife and child and refused to meet with him again for the remainder of his trip. Some backstory: we got married quickly due to an unplanned pregnancy, and have been married for a year now. I liked him and I felt like he liked me too. At the time, he said he wanted to do the right thing, and I believed we were building something real. But now he's admitted he never truly wanted to marry me, that he felt trapped, like he had no other choice. Even though I gave him the option of termination and going our separate ways. He says he's been emotionally attached to his ex all along, and thought about her every day. He admitted I'm a great person and great partner, but he's unable to love me because she's his his soulmate. During their second meeting, he says they talked and he asked her some questions and he knew she was the one. He broke up with her before he joined the army though, and I'm fairly sure he was not completely faithful to her when he moved here. What hurts even more is how cold and distant he's been through all of this. I cried and begged him not to leave our family, but he showed zero emotion. He's completely detached and indifferent, like I never mattered. I've carried so much of the emotional labor in this marriage, supported him through his career and life decisions, only to be discarded so he can chase a fantasy. What makes this worse is the pattern. He told me his past regrets were the ways he treated the women in his past. That he thinks about it often and gets depressed about it, but he's doing the same thing to me now. He's always struggled with commitment and responsibility. He cheated on girlfriends, and admitted he avoided confrontation and accountability. He's choosing to throw away a real family for a woman who explicitly said she doesn't want him. Now I'm left raising our baby alone while he daydreams about a life that doesn't exist. He's coming home in a week and says he wants to co-parent, but he's emotionally and physically checked out. I feel abandoned, betrayed, and humiliated. Everything I built with him was based on lies he told himself and me. I'm heartbroken and I can't believe this is actually happening. My heart physically hurts and I don't know how to process this. If you've been through something similar, how did you survive? Has the other person regretted what they did? I want him to regret it so badly and realize he's making a mistake, but if I have any dignity I won't take him back even if he does. He admitted that the decision he's making is not the best one and could be his downfall, but that's how far he's willing to go for her. Even if both of our families hate him. Because it's finally his decision. He avoids accountability and blames everyone but himself. TL. Doctor, my husband wants a divorce to chase after his ex who when he met up with recently, even though she rejected him. I'm sorry. Get a divorce lawyer and make sure you and your child are protected throughout the divorce process and after. Well, time to get your family involved and get a custody thing going. Divorce sooner than later and put his ass on child support. Make it real for him. Reach out to his ex and inform her of his delusions and how crazy it is. Then work on moving on. Tell him he will need to find somewhere else to stay as he is not welcome in the house. If he comes back to the house, you will pack up your child and leave. I'd also tell him when he gets there and realizes she's just as disgusted with him as you are, there is no coming back. I am sorry to say, but you two were never a real family because he never wanted nor respected you. He was never in it for real. You will find someone perfect for you who will love you like you deserve. Don't waste time with this man-child. He will die alone because he will still fumble any woman he tries being with. It is time to talk to a lawyer. You need to make sure you and your baby are supported after the divorce. I am very sorry this is happening, but he told you the type of guy he was. You saw the best in him, but I hope now you see that he isn't a good man. The breakup and divorce will hurt for a bit, But eventually you will feel stronger again. Moving forward, it may help to talk to a therapist so you can learn not to pick this same type of guy again. Also, be sure to be on BC to prevent other pregnancies. You are stronger than you realize and you will be okay. You got married for a baby, which is always the worst reason to marry someone. He's not going to regret it because he regrets marrying someone for a kid. Something you should have never agreed to.